Right, so this is another one of our quick and easy recipes we're going to show you now, which is a time saver and a money saver as well. This is our quick use up pizzas. So maybe instead, on a Friday night, instead of ordering a pizza, we could maybe make one. So again, obviously money saving, so they cost a lot of money, takeaway pizzas, and also time saving because this is very quick. We're going to be using some things that you tend to have left over in the cupboard. So we've got pita breads here. These are just English muffins. You can obviously use French bread as a base as well, or you could use tortilla bases, and of course if you do have time and you want to, you can make your own pizza dough as well, which is really nice to do. But this is going to be a lot quicker obviously, so all we're going to do is we're going to half our muffin, just so it's a little bit thinner. And then we're going to just keep the pita bread exactly as it is. This is a ready-made, ready to go. There is no cooking basically in this other than popping them into the oven, so it's very lazy. So onto this is really over to you after that as to what you want to put on top. So I've got various bits and bobs here. I've got a bit of sweet corn, I've got some pepper, I've got a few cherry tomatoes. Now cherry tomatoes, or any tomato, try and keep those into the fridge if you can, because they do tend to go off quite quickly if you leave them out. If you do have a glut of tomatoes, really nice thing to do is obviously sweat a little bit of onion down, cook your tomatoes in with that and a little bit of herb, and then maybe just some vegetable stock and water. You're going to end up with a beautiful homemade tomato sauce. We're not going to do that. I'm just going to use some puree. Really, really simple. Okay, all we're doing here is just building flavours and pizza toppings. So, just a good squeeze of that, just pop it down with the back of a spoon. Kids, this is great for. They can do this themselves, obviously, because it's so easy. We're not really cooking. Or they can, it's a great little after-school snack. I know my two children absolutely love these when they come home from school. Okay, so just toppings. I'm going to use some dried herbs. Dried herbs are another thing that we tend to get rid of for some reason at home. These have a best before date on them, as I mentioned in some other clips. These are just a guideline for the manufacturer, so there's nothing in here that can go off. But if you are going to cook with them, put them in at the beginning with when you're warming your onions through or softening vegetables, because that's when you get the most flavour from them. Obviously we're going to get quite a bit of flavour from these because they're going to almost steam in the oven slightly, so we're going to get a nice flavour from those. So let's get some of the bits and bobs on the top. So let's put some sliced mushroom on. Obviously you can use some meat if you've got some cooked sausage, some cooked ham, cooked chicken, anything at all. I don't want to tell you exactly what to put on your pizza. A little bit of sweet corn. Lovely. Nice and colourful as well. Always try and think that when you're making your food, make it nice and bright and colourful. So we've got a bit of pepper here. This is something that typically you end up with, you haven't needed the whole thing. This is perfect for our pizza. I've got some little tomato halves I'm going to use. So I'm just going to slice this through. And we're going to top it with a little bit of fresh basil. I'm going to give you a really nice tip for how to keep your fresh herbs and things at home in a moment. So just, gosh, this is getting colourful on here. I love it. Now then, tomato. Let's use all of this up. We don't want to waste any of those bits. It's all too good. So a bit of cherry tomatoes. So I've just halved these. So obviously these are just going to cook perfectly in the oven. They're just going to steam with the breads. Get nice where the cheese goes on the top. These look fabulous. Right, so just the cheese on the top, just some grated cheese. Any cheese will do. If you've got a bit of goat cheese or a little bit of anything you've got, mozzarella in the fridge, use that obviously. Cheese, if you buy it in multi-packs and you've got too much of it and you're worried about not being able to use it, this does go into the freezer perfectly. So just a nice topping of that. As much as you want, obviously, or as little as you want. Fabulous. Right, so just going to pop a little bit of fresh basil on because I have some, but I'm just going to show you a nice tip at home. Now we buy these packs of fresh herbs in the supermarket and our bags of salad as well. This is another one, and 60p in the pound goes in the bin at the moment on fresh leaves and herbs. So you often get quite a big bunch of these. It's quite hard to get through them all, so we're going to try and find a way of prolonging its life. So good tip is a couple of bits of kitchen roll or a clean J cloth, whatever you have at home, and all we're going to do is just damp that down with a bit of water, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to roll our herbs up tight in this, okay? Like so. Now that will go into the fridge and you will get nearly 3 weeks longer on your fresh herbs, so that's a really, really big saving. Now salad leaves, same principle. If you open a bag of your salad leaves and pop it into a plastic container or a tub, and all you need to do is lay another piece of kitchen roll over the top of this, okay? That's over your salad leaves. You would lay that over the top and you can get up to 5 or 6 days longer on those, so that's a huge money saving tip. Do try it, it does work. But we want some of this basil, so I'm just gonna give it a nice quick slice through, and then just a little sprinkle over the top. Fabulous, look at those. Right, then just into the oven. All we're doing is, most of these ingredients are cooked. We don't want them too soggy anyway. We're melting the cheese. The base is already cooked, so you're looking at about 10 or 15 minutes on 180, and we're going to put them in now. So here's our lovely quick use up pizza. So we've got the muffin one that we did. Oh, look at all these melted cheeses come off on here. It's always an extra treat when you get a bit of extra cheese around there. Right, so I'm just going to pop these straight down to eat. So we've got the muffin, and I'm just going to cut up our pita bread one as well. Lovely crunchy bases. We've got lovely melted cheese. So again, I think you'll agree that is a very fast little recipe, dead easy to do and very tasty.
Derbyshire, we waste 63,000 tonnes of food, which is a big waste for the environment, and it also costs taxpayers £6.3 million to dispose of in landfill. When food goes into landfill, it rots and produces greenhouse gases, which is really bad for the environment and can cause climate change. So we need to reduce food waste by the tips that you've got today, or use our food waste collections if we have unavoidable food waste. So things like banana peelings can go into your food waste collection.